With more than 87% of all company value and virtually all earnings growth now derived from intangible assets, then these critical assets are also now a major source of company risk. Yet in over 1,000 client engagements, we have only found intangible asset risk called out on the risk register of just one company. By analysing our data and working with a major global insurer, we have identified the top 5 intangible asset mistakes and risks that companies keep making. The first and most important risk is the leakage of critical confidential information. Unfortunately, most companies leak like a sieve and are constantly losing valuable intangible assets by its customers, suppliers, and employees. Number 2 is that 8 of the 10 companies we see are unable to even prove that they own their intangible assets. Unlike physical assets, the ownership of intangible assets is not nearly as clear-cut, and unless you're very careful, it is easy to lose control and ownership of them. Number 3, about half the companies we see suffer from major brand risks or face brand infringement issues. While many companies invest heavily in developing their brand, these same companies often have inadequate brand protection, or they may not own or control the full rights to their brand. The fourth risk is the hazardous use of open source code software. Open source code software now comprises over 80% of all software code globally, yet it presents some very significant risks to companies if it is used inappropriately. Rounding out the top 5 risks is threatened or actual intellectual property, often patent or trademark litigation. IP litigation has gone through a massive growth in the United States and Europe over the last 10 years, and now it presents very significant risks to many companies. Collectively, these 5 risks account for many, but not all, of the issues companies face with their intangible assets. Unfortunately, most companies are not even aware of these risks in the first place. So first, there is a heightened risk that things will go wrong. And second, when they do, the management team and directors are more likely to be completely unprepared, resulting in increased cost and damage. The solution is simple. Identify your intangible assets and identify the primary risks to these assets. If you owned a factory, it would be completely unacceptable to fail to insure it or prevent it from burning down. So it is equally unacceptable to fail to manage risk around your intangible assets, which are often more valuable. The takeaway? Management and boards of directors need to rapidly upskill in this critical area.